Turning now to Texas, where tropical depression Imelda is dumping heavy rain and unleashing tornadoes across the state.
We begin with some severe weather in Texas. Flash flooding that brought more than 20 inches of rain in different parts of the state. And there's more on the way. It's a situation that's making people compare it to Hurricane Harvey.
The rain has been relentless here in southeast Texas. You can see it's still falling right now. We are in the small community of Winnie, where the sheriff's office estimates more than 20% of the homes have taken on water. I want you to look at the main drag here in town. You can see it is covered in water. There still are abandoned vehicles here. The drivers were forced to abandon those vehicles due to rising water. And if you look over here, here's one of them here in the ditch. In the distance, another. And a little bit farther over to our right, we have a pickup truck. So this is a serious situation that has unfolded overnight here in southeast Texas. It's a devastating and dangerous flood. People that we have spoken with have left their homes, and they have come to this gas station to seek refuge. First responders have deployed high water rescue vehicles and boats to help people out here. They are prioritizing those calls based on need, but certainly this is still an unfolding situation happening in southeast Texas.
So the weather really started moving into Chambers County on the extreme side probably at about 5 o'clock in the evening. Yeah. It hit our west side, and then when it moved over here to the east side, it stalled and has continued to stall and train. And the weather got bad here about 8 p.m. And it is still bad, as you can see now. So we're pushing almost 12 hours. The first 3 hours, it was doing 5 to 6 inches an hour.
An hour?
An hour.
That's a lot of water.
So we're estimating now that we're probably pushing 20 to 25 inches of rain easily.
Just since last night?
Just since last night. And a lot of these houses have taken on rising water that did not get rising water in Harvey.
Okay, guys, as tropical depression Imelda was taking over parts of Texas, there was something else that was trending right next to that in Twitter, and that's Joel Osteen. And I'm just going to go through a couple of these. It's kind of sad that it's sad and funny at the same time, let's put it that way, that when something horrific like this happens, a church pastor who's supposed to be opening his doors to people who are, suffering from things like this, has to be mocked into helping people. Christians are supposed to help people, right? Well, Joe Osteen is basically being bullied into helping people because people take to Twitter anytime a drop of rain hits the Houston area, because, as you know, it's pretty infamous now. 2 years ago when Harvey hit, Joe Osteen closed his doors, locked the doors, and people were basically begging for help, and he wouldn't give any help. So he's rightly being mocked. This guy says, floods really bring out peak Houston, random acts of superheroism and Joel Osteen memes. Featuring Justin Trudeau's spectacular hypocrisy, the climate strike, and dick-related advice from Joel Osteen. These Joel Osteen tweets have me rolling. This is God telling us to keep up the Joel Osteen slander. He's proud of us. It has a video of a rainbow. This was kind of funny. They did a spoof article. I might read this a little later. It was off the charts ridiculous and hilarious at the same time. They say if you listen closely during a tropical storm, you can hear Joel Osteen locking the church doors. And there's a bunch of memes with locked doors. If we say it long enough, eventually we're going to reap a harvest. We're going to get exactly what we're saying. Joel Osteen. I don't know if he really said that, but people are constantly spoofing him in memes. And you're going to go through tough times. That's life. But I say, nothing happens to you. It happens for you. See the positive in negative events. This meme right here, Joel Osteen, when there's a flood and folks come for help at his church. It's got him running away. Flood survivors and Joel Osteen. He's looking in, and Joel Osteen's like, no, you ain't coming in here, boy. Houston trying to make Joel Osteen open them doors. Joel Osteen, when it rains in Houston. I'm heading out. God spoke to me and told me to open the church to the people in need. Yeah, you got tired of seeing them memes about yo ass on social media, huh? Joel Osteen walking into his church to welcome all the flood victims. The sad part is this tropical depression is actually dumping more rain in some places in Texas than Hurricane Harvey did. Joel Osteen, once the storm hit Houston, got all these locks on the doors. Meme quote from Joel Osteen, learn to swim. I believe if you keep your faith, you keep your trust, you keep the right attitude. If you're grateful, you'll see God open up new doors. And this person says, unless they're the doors to my church during a flood. Video depiction of Joel Osteen when asked about his church vacancies the next time it rains. Actual footage of Joel Osteen in his office when he's forced to open his church as a shelter again. What's harder to get into this weekend, Area 51 or Joel Osteen's megachurch? This one's basically saying that the flooding's happening everywhere, including at Joel Osteen's church. Joel Osteen, after he checks the weather forecast, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Joel Osteen and company every time they have to open up the church. This is supposed to be an aerial view of Osteen's house, and I wouldn't doubt it. If you've seen any of the houses of the mega pastors, they live very, very comfortably. Osteen watching the Weather Channel, it just goes on and on and on with the memes. And as funny as this is, guys, let's remember there's some horrific stuff going on in Houston right now. There's a lot of people losing their homes, losing their vehicles, losing pretty much everything they've got to this flooding coming in from this tropical depression. A lot of people are saying that this is worse flooding than they saw with Hurricane Harvey in Houston. So even though this Joel Osteen stuff is funny, there's a lot of people going through some tough times right now. I just wanted to offer this up as a kind of a little levity in the midst of just utter destruction and devastation going on in Houston. I hope anybody who lives around that area, just stay safe. Anybody who's close to that area, if you guys can lend a hand, that'd be awesome. If you're in the Houston area, we'd like to hear from you in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
We were talking about that earlier. You said the effects here were not as bad as a major hurricane that hit here 2 years ago.
That is correct. And it has just stalled on us like Harvey did.
Yeah.
All right, but the hospital didn't flood during Harvey. We've had to evacuate the hospital. A number of homes that never have ever seen water ever in their life now have water in them. It's just too much water, too quick.
Do you think people had time to get out, or were most people, or a lot of people, stranded?
Most people, like myself included, did not realize that this would stall for as many hours as it had. So everybody knew it was going to be a bad rain event, but they had no idea that it would be a 12-hour stall rain event. And it just keeps training and just keeps bringing in more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico.
It's a lot of water and not a lot of places for it to go right now.
Well, it's just run out of places to go.
Yeah.
So
what does the next 12 hours look like for you here in this town?
well, until it quits raining, it's going to be a nightmare. We keep waiting for daylight to come, but it's so overcast and raining so hard, we're still not even realizing that the sun should be shining right now.
Right.
But it's not, and until it gets daylight, we really won't know what we really have.
Okay. Have you ever seen it this bad? Have you ever seen anything like this, Sheriff?
Well, I've been through a lot of hurricanes. I did Hurricane Ike. I did Hurricane Rita. I did Hurricane Harvey. But this is the worst flooding I've ever seen.
Chambers County, thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
That is the situation here in Winnie, Kimberly. Still a long way to go, and as the sheriff says, until this rain stops, they're going to be dealing with problems probably all day throughout tomorrow as well. Kimberly?
All right, Clayton, unbelievable. Thank you for the updates there.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.